If you've noticed that your mornings don't feel the way they once did, then this conversation is for you. Many men assume it's simply a normal part of getting older, something they have to accept without question. But after treating thousands of men over the years, I can tell you that the story is often much more encouraging than that. Here's something I want you to think about for a moment. You already reach for a cup of coffee almost every morning, don't you? It's one of the first things that helps you wake up and prepare for the day ahead. Now imagine if that same daily habit could become something much more powerful. What if, by adding a few simple ingredients that are already easy to find, your morning coffee could begin supporting healthier blood flow, steadier energy, improved vitality, and even better performance when it matters most? That may sound surprising, but there is real science behind it. My name is Dr. Rose, and I'm a urologist who has spent the past 7 years helping men over the age of 50 regain confidence, improve their energy levels, and support their overall health naturally. Throughout my career, I've seen countless men who believed their best years were already behind them. Many assumed there was only one solution available. They thought prescription medications, expensive treatments, or complicated medical procedures were the only way forward. But in many situations, the foundation of improvement began with much simpler changes. Today, I'm going to show you how to transform your ordinary morning coffee into something that actively supports your body instead of simply waking you up. We're not talking about miracle cures. We're not talking about expensive supplements or gimmicks that promise impossible results. Instead, we're focusing on practical ingredients backed by nutritional science that may help support circulation, hormone balance, and long-lasting energy as part of a healthy lifestyle. Before we continue, I'd really appreciate your support. Take a second to press the like button. Leave a comment letting me know where you're watching from. And if you're interested in straightforward, evidence-based advice for men's health after 50, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss future videos designed to help you stay strong, active, and confident for many years to come. Now let's talk about something most men are never told. When morning performance starts changing after the age of 50, many people immediately blame testosterone. Yes, testosterone is certainly important. Healthy hormone levels play a significant role in energy, muscle strength, mood, and sexual function. But in my clinical experience, testosterone is often only one part of a much bigger picture. The issue I see most often is something many men rarely think about. It's circulation. Healthy blood flow is absolutely essential for nearly every organ in your body. Without efficient circulation, even normal hormone levels cannot perform at their best. As we get older, our blood vessels gradually lose some of their flexibility. They become stiffer than they were decades earlier. At the same time, your body's natural production of nitric oxide begins to decline. Nitric oxide is an incredibly important molecule because it tells your blood vessels to relax and widen, allowing blood to move more freely throughout your body. Unfortunately, as nitric oxide decreases with age, circulation becomes less efficient. One of the first places where this change becomes noticeable is in the smallest arteries of the body. Those tiny blood vessels responsible for supplying blood to the penis are incredibly delicate. Because they're so small, they often show signs of reduced circulation years before larger arteries elsewhere in the body begin causing noticeable symptoms. That's why changes in intimate performance can sometimes be one of the earliest warning signs that your vascular health deserves more attention. Many men rely on another cup of coffee whenever they feel tired. The caffeine certainly provides a temporary burst of alertness. For a short period, you may feel more awake and energized. But caffeine alone doesn't repair the underlying cause. It doesn't restore damaged blood vessels. It doesn't significantly improve nitric oxide production. And it certainly doesn't strengthen the health of your circulatory system over the long term. Think of it like placing fresh paint over a cracked wall. From a distance, everything may appear better for a little while. But underneath, the original problem remains unchanged. Your body deserves much more than a temporary boost. It needs the right nutritional support every single morning. It needs ingredients that help nourish your blood vessels, stabilize your metabolism, support healthy hormone function, and provide lasting energy instead of quick highs followed by exhausting crashes. The encouraging news is that many of these ingredients are inexpensive, widely available, and surprisingly easy to include in your existing routine. Over the past 7 years, I've worked with thousands of men from completely different backgrounds. Some were engineers who spent long hours sitting behind computer screens. Others were teachers who dedicated their lives to educating young people. Some were veterans. Others worked in construction, transportation, farming, or owned small businesses. Their careers were different. Their lifestyles varied. Their personal stories were unique. But one concern connected almost all of them. They wanted to feel like themselves again. They wanted the energy they once had. They wanted to wake up feeling motivated instead of exhausted. They wanted confidence instead of uncertainty. And they wanted practical solutions they could actually maintain for years, not just a few weeks. Again and again, I discovered something interesting. The answer wasn't always hidden inside a prescription bottle. Very often, meaningful improvements began with smarter daily habits and better nutritional choices that supported the body's own natural systems. One of the reasons I like using coffee as a starting point is because most men are already drinking it every morning. Instead of asking you to create an entirely new routine, we're simply improving one that already exists. Your morning cup can become much more than a source of caffeine. With the right ingredients, it can become a daily habit that supports healthier circulation, balanced metabolism, steady energy, and better overall wellness. The secret isn't adding random supplements. It's choosing ingredients that work together with your body's natural biology. When they're introduced consistently and at the right time each morning, they help create an environment where your cardiovascular system, hormones, and energy production can perform more efficiently. That's why today, I'm going to walk you through 5 simple additions you can make to your coffee. I'll explain what each one does inside the body, why it matters from a medical perspective, and how you can easily use it without making your morning routine complicated. Let's begin with the first ingredient, and it's probably already sitting somewhere in your kitchen: cinnamon. Many people think of cinnamon as nothing more than a baking spice. They sprinkle it on desserts or oatmeal and never think much about it again. But from a health standpoint, cinnamon has properties that make it far more valuable than most people realize. There is one important detail, however. Not every type of cinnamon is exactly the same. For regular daily use, I recommend Ceylon cinnamon because it naturally contains much lower levels of coumarin than cassia cinnamon. That makes it a safer choice if you're planning to include it as part of your everyday routine. Now let's talk about why cinnamon deserves a place in your morning coffee. One of its biggest strengths is its ability to help support healthier blood sugar regulation. Stable blood sugar may not sound directly connected to men's health at first, but in reality, the connection is extremely important. When blood sugar stays elevated over long periods, it gradually damages the lining of blood vessels throughout the body. The smallest arteries are usually affected first. And remember what we discussed earlier. The arteries responsible for supplying blood to the penis are among the smallest blood vessels in the body. That means they're often the first to experience reduced function when vascular health begins to decline. Cinnamon contains natural plant compounds called polyphenols. These compounds help support healthier blood vessel function while also improving the body's response to insulin. As blood sugar becomes more stable, your blood vessels experience less stress over time. That creates a healthier environment for circulation. And healthy circulation is one of the foundations of dependable, intimate performance. There's another benefit many of my patients notice. When blood sugar remains more stable throughout the day, energy levels become much steadier. Instead of feeling alert for a short time and then crashing a few hours later, many men describe their energy as smoother and more consistent. That afternoon slump that often sends people searching for another cup of coffee becomes much less noticeable. From an emotional standpoint, this matters more than most people expect. When your body performs consistently, your confidence naturally begins to return. Instead of constantly wondering whether you'll have enough energy later in the day or worrying about how your body might respond during intimate moments, you begin trusting your health again. That peace of mind is something many men haven't experienced in years. And confidence isn't created by wishful thinking. It grows when your body starts giving you reliable results again. Adding cinnamon couldn't be simpler. Start with about 1/4 teaspoon mixed into your morning coffee. Stir it well, or use a small frother if you have one. It blends nicely and adds a warm, pleasant flavor without requiring sugar. One of my patients, a 58-year-old contractor, shared something that really stayed with me. Before making this small change, he told me he almost always felt exhausted after lunch. Every afternoon became a struggle. He found himself looking for another coffee or wishing he could take a nap before finishing the workday. After consistently including cinnamon in his morning routine and improving a few other habits, he noticed that his energy stayed much more stable. Instead of barely making it through the afternoon, he felt productive until the end of the day. Small changes often produce larger results than people expect when they're practiced consistently. Now let's move to the second ingredient, unsweetened cocoa powder. And I want to emphasize one word here, unsweetened. I'm not talking about sugary hot chocolate mixes or flavored drink powders filled with added sugar. I'm referring to real dark cocoa powder with no unnecessary ingredients. Cocoa is rich in natural plant compounds known as flavonoids. One of the most studied is epicatechin. These flavonoids help your body increase nitric oxide production. Remember nitric oxide from earlier? It's the signaling molecule that tells blood vessels to relax and widen. As men grow older, natural nitric oxide production gradually declines. That decline contributes to reduced circulation throughout the body. By supporting nitric oxide production naturally, cocoa may help improve blood flow where it's needed most. Better circulation doesn't only support intimate health, it also benefits your heart, muscles, brain, and overall physical performance. Every tissue in your body depends on healthy blood flow to receive oxygen and nutrients. When circulation improves, your entire body benefits. Many men describe the feeling as though someone turned the lights back on. They feel more mentally alert. Their workouts become more enjoyable. Walking feels easier. They recover better after physical activity, and they begin approaching everyday life with greater confidence because their body simply feels more responsive. Using cocoa is incredibly easy. Just add 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder to your morning coffee. It creates a rich flavor that reminds many people of a high-quality mocha, without loading your drink with sugar. There's another advantage worth mentioning. Cocoa naturally contains compounds that support mood, including substances that encourage your brain's normal feel-good pathways. While it's certainly not a treatment for depression, many people report feeling calmer, more positive, and mentally refreshed after making cocoa part of their regular routine. Supporting your physical health and emotional well-being at the same time is always a combination worth appreciating. Now let's move on to the third ingredient, and this is one that many men have heard about, but very few truly understand. I'm talking about maca powder. This remarkable root has been grown for centuries in the mountains of Peru, where it has traditionally been valued for supporting stamina, endurance, and overall vitality. Because of its long history, many people casually refer to it as nature's Viagra. While that nickname certainly gets attention, it doesn't accurately describe how maca actually works inside the body. Unlike prescription medications that temporarily increase blood flow through specific biochemical pathways, maca works much more gradually. Its purpose isn't to force an immediate response. Instead, it helps support the body's own natural systems over time. That's an important distinction because lasting health is rarely built on quick fixes. Maca contains a wide variety of nutrients, including amino acids, magnesium, zinc, and unique plant compounds that may help support healthy hormone balance and natural energy production. Rather, they provide your body with resources it can use as part of normal physiological function. When your body has the nutritional support it needs, many systems begin working more efficiently together. Over the years, many of my patients have described similar experiences after consistently using maca as part of a healthy routine. They don't usually tell me they suddenly felt like they were 25 again. Instead, they say something much more meaningful. They tell me they finally started feeling like themselves again. Their motivation improved. Their mental focus became sharper. They noticed more steady energy throughout the day. They felt stronger during exercise. And many found that their interest in intimacy gradually returned as their overall health improved. That emotional benefit shouldn't be underestimated. When men begin feeling physically capable again, confidence often follows naturally. Instead of constantly questioning whether they'll have enough energy to get through the day, they begin trusting their bodies again. That renewed confidence often extends far beyond physical performance. It influences relationships, work, family life, and even the way a person carries themselves. If you'd like to try maca, I recommend starting with 1 teaspoon mixed into your morning coffee about 3 or 4 times each week. Unlike caffeine, you shouldn't expect dramatic changes after a single serving. Maca works through consistency. Most people who respond to it begin noticing gradual improvements after 2 to 3 weeks of regular use. It has a mild, slightly nutty flavor that blends surprisingly well with coffee. There are also several different varieties available. Yellow maca is the most common and has a balanced nutritional profile. Red maca has been studied for its potential benefits in supporting prostate health. Black maca is often chosen by men looking for additional support for energy, stamina, and physical performance. Each variety has its own strengths, but whichever one you choose, remember that consistency is far more important than chasing quick results. Now let's talk about another ingredient that often surprises people: coconut oil. At first, adding oil to coffee may sound unusual. Many men look at me with a skeptical smile the first time I mention it. But once you understand the science behind it, the idea starts making much more sense. Healthy hormone production depends on more than vitamins and minerals. Your body also requires healthy fats. Testosterone, like many important hormones, is produced from cholesterol and dietary fats through a series of natural biological processes. That doesn't mean eating excessive amounts of fat is beneficial. It simply means your body needs the right kinds of fats to function properly. Coconut oil provides medium-chain triglycerides, commonly known as MCTs. These fats are metabolized differently from many other dietary fats. After you consume them, they're rapidly transported to the liver, where they can be converted into a readily available source of energy. Instead of producing the quick spike and crash that many sugary breakfast foods create, MCTs provide a more stable supply of fuel for the body. That steady energy can make a noticeable difference throughout your morning. Many men tell me they remain focused longer, experience fewer cravings before lunch, and don't feel as mentally drained during the middle of the day. Stable energy also influences confidence. When your body isn't constantly running out of fuel, you're naturally more alert. You stay engaged in conversations. You perform better at work. You enjoy physical activity more. And you simply feel more capable of handling whatever the day brings. Adding coconut oil is very straightforward. Begin with 1 teaspoon blended into your coffee. Using a blender or a small milk frother creates a smooth, creamy texture that's surprisingly enjoyable. Many people say it tastes similar to a specialty latte from their favorite coffee shop. If your digestive system isn't used to coconut oil, start with a smaller amount. Allow your body time to adjust before gradually increasing the serving. There's no need to rush. Slow, consistent progress almost always produces better long-term results than trying to change everything overnight. By this point, you may have noticed a common pattern. None of these ingredients promise instant miracles. None of them claim to reverse aging in a single day. Instead, each one supports a different part of your body's natural physiology. When those systems begin working together more efficiently, the improvements often become noticeable across multiple areas of health rather than just one. Now, let's look at the fifth and final ingredient, and in my opinion, it's one of the most underrated foods when it comes to supporting men's health naturally. I'm talking about ginger. Most people think of ginger as something you use for cooking or to soothe an upset stomach. While it certainly does both of those things well, its benefits extend much further than most men realize. From a biological perspective, ginger contains powerful natural compounds, including gingerols and shogals, that help support healthy circulation throughout the body. These compounds encourage blood vessels to relax, help reduce inflammation, and support the normal function of the cardiovascular system. Healthy blood vessels are essential because every organ in your body depends on an adequate supply of oxygen and nutrients. When circulation improves, your tissues receive the support they need to perform efficiently. For men over 50, this becomes especially important. As we discussed earlier, the smallest blood vessels are often the first to experience age-related changes. Supporting those vessels naturally can make a meaningful difference over time. Research has also suggested that regular ginger consumption may help support healthy testosterone levels while contributing to normal sperm production and motility. Although ginger should never be viewed as a replacement for proper medical care, it can become a valuable part of an overall healthy lifestyle. From an emotional standpoint, many men find comfort in knowing they're actively taking steps to support their long-term health instead of simply waiting for problems to develop. There's something empowering about making small choices each day that contribute to feeling stronger, healthier, and more capable. Those daily habits gradually build confidence because you're investing in your future instead of reacting only after difficulties appear. Using ginger couldn't be much easier. You can place a thin slice of fresh ginger directly into your coffee while it brews, or stir about 1/4 teaspoon of high-quality powdered ginger into your finished cup. Fresh ginger contains aromatic oils that provide a bright, vibrant flavor, while powdered ginger offers a more concentrated option that's convenient for everyday use. Both forms can fit easily into your routine. Now, before you become excited and decide to add every one of these ingredients tomorrow morning, let me offer one important piece of advice. Please don't. Trying all 5 ingredients at once isn't likely to give you better results. Instead, it may simply upset your stomach and leave you wondering which ingredient is actually helping. Whenever we introduce new foods or supplements, it's always better to move gradually. That allows your digestive system to adapt comfortably while giving you an opportunity to observe how your body responds to each change. Here's the approach I usually recommend to my patients. During your first week, begin with Ceylon cinnamon. Add about 1/4 teaspoon to your morning coffee each day and simply observe how you feel. Pay attention to your energy levels. Notice whether your afternoon fatigue begins to improve. Watch for changes in your overall sense of well-being. During the second week, continue using the cinnamon and introduce 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. Now you're supporting healthier blood sugar while also encouraging your body's natural nitric oxide production. These 2 ingredients complement each other very well. By the 3rd week, if everything has been going smoothly, begin adding 1 teaspoon of maca powder 3 times each week. Remember that maca works gradually. Patience is important. Its benefits usually become more noticeable with consistent use rather than immediate results. By the 4th week, you can decide whether you'd like to include coconut oil or ginger. Some men prefer the steady energy that coconut oil provides. Others enjoy the circulation support and refreshing flavor of ginger. There's no single right choice. The best option is the one that fits comfortably into your lifestyle and that you'll actually continue using. Throughout this process, I encourage you to keep track of a few simple things. Notice your energy when you wake up. Pay attention to your mood during the day. Observe your exercise performance. Consider how your morning vitality changes over time. You don't need complicated charts or expensive health trackers. Simply becoming more aware of how you feel can provide valuable insight into your progress. Many men begin noticing encouraging improvements within 2 to 3 weeks. For others, it may take a little longer. Remember that lasting health isn't built in a single weekend. It's built through small, consistent habits repeated day after day. After about a month, many of these simple additions no longer feel like extra work. They simply become part of your normal morning routine. And that's exactly what we want. The easier a healthy habit becomes, the more likely you'll continue doing it for years rather than weeks. If you're someone who prefers keeping things as simple as possible, there's an easy shortcut. Mix your cinnamon and unsweetened cocoa powder together ahead of time and store them in a small, airtight container. Each morning, scoop out a single spoonful and stir it directly into your coffee. The entire process takes only a few seconds, yet it gives you 2 beneficial ingredients without adding extra effort to your routine. For weekends, when you have a little more time to enjoy your morning, you can create what I like to call a power brew. Prepare your favorite coffee. Blend in 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder, and a small piece of fresh ginger. Blend everything until it becomes smooth and creamy. The result is rich, satisfying, naturally flavorful, and packed with ingredients that support your overall health without relying on added sugars or artificial flavors. Gentlemen, before we finish today, I want to leave you with one important thought. Your body has not given up on you simply because you've celebrated another birthday. Too many men reach their 50s, 60s, or even 70s, believing that lower energy, reduced confidence, and changes in intimate performance are simply unavoidable. While aging certainly brings natural changes, growing older does not automatically mean giving up your vitality. In my years as a urologist, I've met men in their 60s who felt healthier than they did in their 50s. I've also worked with men in their 70s and even 80s who experienced meaningful improvements after making small but consistent lifestyle changes. The difference wasn't that they discovered a miracle cure. The difference was that they committed to supporting their bodies every single day. That's exactly what these simple coffee additions are designed to do. They aren't magic ingredients. They won't replace proper medical care. And they certainly aren't a substitute for regular exercise, quality sleep, healthy nutrition, and routine checkups with your healthcare provider. Instead, they work alongside those healthy habits by giving your body additional nutritional support where it needs it most. Healthy circulation, better metabolic balance, steadier energy, support for normal hormone function, reduced inflammation. These are the foundations that help your body perform the way it was designed to perform. When you consistently strengthen those foundations, many areas of your health begin improving together. Perhaps the greatest benefit isn't only physical. It's the confidence that slowly returns when you begin feeling more capable again. You wake up with more energy. You stay productive throughout the afternoon. You feel more motivated to exercise. You become more present with your family. And you stop viewing age as something that's constantly working against you. Instead, you begin seeing each day as another opportunity to invest in your health. Remember, confidence doesn't usually return overnight. It grows through small victories repeated day after day. Every healthy breakfast, every walk you take, every good night's sleep, every thoughtful decision you make for your body. Those choices may seem insignificant on their own, but together they create remarkable change over time. So here's the challenge I'd like to leave with you. Tomorrow morning, don't change everything. Simply choose one of the ingredients we discussed today. Start there. Be patient. Stay consistent. Give your body time to respond. Notice how your energy feels. Pay attention to your circulation. Observe your focus, your endurance, and your overall sense of well-being during the weeks ahead. Small improvements often become the beginning of much larger transformations. I'd also love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me what you normally add to your morning coffee. Have you ever tried cinnamon, cocoa, maca, coconut oil, or ginger before? Which one are you most interested in adding first? Your experience may encourage another man who's been looking for practical ideas to improve his health naturally. If you know someone who could benefit from this information, share this video with him. Sometimes the most meaningful gift we can offer a friend is useful knowledge that encourages healthier choices. And if today's discussion helped you better understand how everyday habits can support men's health after 50, take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications. Here on this channel, my goal is simple: to provide honest, practical, science-informed guidance without unrealistic promises or unnecessary fear. Because every man deserves reliable information that helps him make informed decisions about his health. Never forget this: your age does not define your potential. Your daily habits play a much greater role than most people realize. The choices you make each morning influence how you feel throughout the day and, over time, throughout the years ahead. Take care of your body consistently, and it will often reward you in ways that may surprise you. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me today. I'm Dr. Rose. Keep moving. Keep learning. Keep taking care of yourself. And remember, your strongest years may not be behind you at all. With the right habits, patience, and consistency, your healthiest chapter could still be waiting just ahead. I'll see you in the next video.